back to page string, and we are reading The Crossing, the second book in the Border trilogy. We read the first book, All the Pretty Horses, and had some week by week episodes to kind of talk, whoever's reading with me. And we'll do the same for The Crossing. So The Crossing is, we read chapter 1 the first week, and it'll be every Wednesday, it'll be a different chapter. The Crossing is has a very different feel for me than All the Pretty Horses. The Crossing, we're introduced to two brothers and the mother and father, but basically the two brothers, Billy and Boyd, and they live where they live. There's lots of dangers and just kind of the initial setup. But the dreams of the wolves and the Indian who comes at the beginning who asks them for help and semi threatens them, I guess. he's probably hungry and wants some food, wants some stuff too to trade and whatever else. But I have a feeling he's going to come. The dreams and that person will come into play later. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure, but it seems like too much of an event for it to not mean something. So the so the first part that starts off with that, and then of course the wolf who is eating the livestock. We go on a mission to capture the wolf. Billy's able to capture the wolf and then doesn't kill it. He's trying to return it back to Mexico. And there's some pretty funny situations that happen when he's trying to take the wolf back to Mexico. He's trying to find help because his horse keeps running away from the wolf and he has to come and get it. And there's the interaction between him and the person who stopped to help him in the truck. Kind of like, is there something wrong with you? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know if there is something wrong with me. So all that was pretty funny. I enjoyed that interaction. He and the person who was driving by. I thought that was great. I thought that there's some pretty funny moments with him trying to get the wolf. It seemed a little silly. So beyond that, it was some pretty funny moments with him trying to get the wolf back, and it kind of caught me surprised that he decided to take the wolf back a little bit. And it also surprised me that it took so long for someone to really raise eyebrows. I mean, he did get a few eyebrows and have the story of, I've been entrusted in the wolf's care. I have to return it. Somebody powerful asked me to watch after the wolf. So in that sense, I guess he had a story, so it helped him get the wolf to safety. But it all seemed it was, I don't know, it just didn't pull me in the way All the Pretty Horses did. It didn't kind of just grab me. I mean, of course it wasn't bad. It was still good. It was still captures the time and the setting and the environments, everything else. It was good as just the characters and the purpose was, I don't know, I'm sure it'll make sense. But for right now, it just seems a little bit off. Seems like there's something that this is going to come around and make sense later, that this is all going to be for a reason. Yes, but like I said, it was still a good story. I still enjoy the story, the characters. Everything was fine. It just didn't have the thing that pulls you. Just didn't have. I think it was probably because of the characters, and the characters have the potential to really pull me in. Still, I just haven't yet. I think I got really attached to John early in All the Pretty Horses, and I'm attached to these characters too. I think it's just the journey with the wolf. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. I guess I understand him, and there's a lot involved with him securing the wolf, making sure that it's safe, putting a muzzle on him. That whole interaction, all those different little details I did enjoy. I didn't feel like anything was wasted. It was all good. There's no wasted space. One of the things I really hate is just wasted space in books that doesn't really serve the story. It doesn't really do anything. Doesn't move the story forward. And that's why I'm not a big Stephen King fan. But oh yeah, I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to do it. Anyway, Stephen King fans out there, I kid. I kid. There's a few books I do enjoy. Anyway, um, so yeah, the I really did think this book would be a whole book about Billy and the Wolf. I thought it was going to be him, uh, taking the wolf back. I did not expect the wolf to die the way it did at the end of chapter one. Did not see that coming. I did not think that would happen. So in that sense, it was a surprise. The that was a shock, actually, that it died the way it did. And I'm wondering what happens now. What happens now with the wolf? I know he's at the end of chapter one, he's talking about finding a place to bury it, but I don't really know where we go from here. I don't know what the next step is. I know that the wolf is pregnant, or at least suspected it was pregnant. So, yeah. So I think the man who was helping him said, "Are you sure the wolf hadn't already had pups?" I believe Billy was certain that she hadn't had puppies yet, or wolves yet. So I'm curious to see where it goes from here. When I read the synopsis of the book and I read She Wolf, I I stupidly thought this was going to be some kind of supernatural story. And it's silly to admit that, but I thought this was going to be some kind of supernatural tale. And that's why I was a little bit confused, because All the Pretty Horses is very grounded and very gritty, and to make that leap would have been weird. So it does make sense. I just don't know where we go from here. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. It hasn't yanked me in, hasn't really grabbed me the way All the Pretty Horses has. But of course, it's just chapter one. Let me know what you think if you're reading along with me. Like I said, the environments are so beautiful. Describing the environments, the feelings, you really feel like you're on this journey with them. The wolf is dangerous, and you think, just let the wolf, you would like to think the wolf would get used to him and not let him have to muzzle the wolf, and because he has to feed her and give her water and all that stuff. So all that stuff is, yeah, I just don't know where we're going. So we'll see. But anyway, so if you're reading along with me, thank you very much for reading along with me. There is a link down below to send me a message to me directly, or you can join our forums at pagejoin.com and discuss the book there with me. Tell me what you think about it. What are your thoughts on chapter one? And do you have any guesses where this book is going? I have no idea where this is going. I don't read spoilers or anything else. So I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm curious to see where it goes. But until next week, we will discuss chapter 2 next Wednesday. And until then, I hope you're having a great time. Hopefully, we will have more to talk about in chapter 2. See you then.